Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of the SBP. I'm your boy Prime. Shorts is out today handling business, but I got two of my guys. You may recognize the faces. They have been here many times before. First up, we got Joel. Joel, how you feeling, man?
I'm good. Prime, nice to be back.
Good to have you back, my man. You good today?
I'm good. It's nice. Weather's nice. Today's just starting. Let's keep it that way, though, right?
Let us pray. And my guy Jawan is in the house. What's good, man?
What's going on? Just putting together a prayer circle for Josh Hart, Noji, and Anobi for today.
Oh yeah, we got to do that, brother. We got to do that, man. And my nerves are a little wrecked today. I shouldn't be sipping on this. I call myself drinking some decaffeinated tea, but it's just it's still caffeine in here. So maybe I should have went a different route just on water, but my nerves are kind of shot right now.
I get it.
3:30, what should be going down at 3:30, man. So, we shall see. We shall see. And then making us wait, man. I was thinking, you don't give us maybe 1 o'clock game or something.
Let's get it out of the way. Look, rip the Band-Aid up. Nah, y'all wait till 3:30. Imagine if it was a 6 o'clock game.
I to be honest with you, I kind of prefer it. I would have preferred it as the last game. Just give me more time.
No, get it out of the way.
Give me more time. I need more time, man.
I can't, man. This has been a stressful ass series.
Yes, it has, man. And we are definitely going to dive into that here today. Actually, not too long from now. But we're going to kick around a couple of topics. One thing we should probably lead off the program with today is really what the buzz has been for quite a while now, and even more so this past week. And that would be over in the WNBA. I know you guys don't really watch a lot of WNBA, but of course everybody knows the Caitlin Clark saga, I guess, because we're just talking about comic books. I'm talking about the Phoenix saga, but about Phoenix saga. But Caitlin Clark, folks who do not watch the game know who Caitlin Clark is. She has been a media firestorm. She's been for the past couple of seasons. She has torn up the basketball courts and during the college game. You couldn't mention basketball, women's basketball, or basketball in general without somebody bringing up Caitlin Clark. It's been a lot of criticism thrown her way by a lot of people, and there's different reasons why. Some people have her as the savior of the league, of the WNBA, that they're putting it out there. Already crowning her as a GOAT because of her achievements in college. She has undoubtedly cast a crazy light, though, on the women's game, college and professionally, no matter how you feel about her and how you rock with it. But she's got a lot of scrutiny and criticism this week. And because it was her first week, this is the first week the WNBA started last Tuesday. So, of course, they televised her game. One of the other games they featured Angel Reese did not get televised the way people wanted to. People were upset about that. But Caitlin Clark has come out here and in record numbers, she's drawn a crazy crowd. What I would like to figure out or try to see how you guys feel about it is, why do you think there is negativity involving Caitlin Clark in the women's game?
I think it's the tale as old as time. I think people don't appreciate the narrative and the idea that she's skipping the line. They feel as though you earn what you earned in college. Now you start fresh. You need to earn what you earn in the league. But for me, it's just like, I think it's fair to say she is, to a degree, saving women's basketball. The fact that I'm having this conversation with you about women's basketball means I know something about it. And I only know something about it because I watched her highlights the other day. So for me, it's like, I don't think that's such a bad thing, right? Because how we felt during the height of Curry, we were about to experience maybe what 30 straight years of just LeBron dominance, and Curry came and saved us, gave us a little break. Then Curry became LeBron, and you're like, all right, he need to lose, right? So it's just the idea of just giving us something new, right? And to me, I think whoever's hating on Caitlin Clark that loves women's basketball should just accept the win of she's drawing in an audience that you did not have yesterday. So it's like just appreciate what she's bringing to the game, even if she turns out to be a fluke, right? Like she's not that great. She doesn't turn out to be great. She at least made the sport exciting, right? And who knows, maybe with her just bringing the spotlight to WNBA brings eyes to a whole bunch of other players that people maybe didn't know of. Like shout out to Caitlin Clark because of her. Kelsey Plum. I know Kelsey Plum. I like me some Kelsey Plum. I'll be watching some Kelsey Plum games.
Yeah, we understand.
So,
we understand.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, about to be recently divorced, so nah. But so I mean, I just think the hate is too much. I did have a quick question for you, Prime. I saw a coach come out and say that she thought it was the hype was a little overrated. She said the only person she's ever seen come right into the league and immediately dominate was like Candace Parker. And my question to that was, didn't Maya Moore come right into the league and dominate? Didn't you win like 4 straight championships or something crazy?
Yeah. So Maya, that is a great one. Maya Moore had a phenomenal. She was really good out of the gates. I think and she dominated. Mm-hmm. Retired way too soon. She definitely.
They called her Baby Braun. They used to call her Baby Braun.
In the conversation, hands down. I think the Candace Parker comparisons came because of the way, and I say this, I want people to understand, I'm not hating on Caitlin Clark. I like Caitlin Clark. But I think a lot of Caitlin Clark's fans propped her up initially to come in off top. She was just a GOAT. You see what I'm saying? That was what she was just a GOAT because she had a phenomenal career. We've never seen people do a lot of things that she's done. She's shooting from the logo consistently, leading her team to the national title. The way she did. So I think the comparisons to Candace Parker was because a lot of people's expectations, and I say this meaning folks who are not huge fans of the women's game. Sometimes we call them newbies. I mean, that's not always a bad thing. As you mentioned, we want all the new eyes on the women's game. But a lot of folks I see not only in my group, but across social media who don't watch a lot of women's basketball and only got into the game because of Caitlin Clark. They thought that she was coming in to dominate immediately. I mean, that's it. Her game. It's not going to be an issue. It's what it's going to be. And so the Candace Parker situation came up because Candace Parker's first game, she just dominated in her very first game. Whereas Caitlin Clark struggled. Candace Parker had 30-some-odd points, ton of rebounds. Just came out of the gates, whereas Caitlin Clark struggled. Granted, she had a respectable 20 points in that game, right? But her shooting was off. She was 5 of 15. Her trademark is the deep three. She was 4 of 11 from three-point range. All right, 4 of 11. And she turned the ball over 10 times in her first game. So I think this is where the comparisons come up. Also to the fact that they're going to throw in Candace too because she just retired a couple of weeks ago. But Candace also in her rookie seasons playing with Lisa Leslie won Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season.
Wow.
So that's where a lot of the comparisons come up. But Juwan, you bring a great point. You talk about some of these other players. Maya Moore dominated. Stewie was good. Breanna Stewart was good out of the gates. It's just that her teams weren't good. Maya Moore was great out of the gates and her teams won. But I just think that a lot of it comes from the fact that folks are just putting Caitlin up there because a lot of folks who don't really understand a true transition from college to professional that I don't, really doesn't matter who you are. In a lot of situations, it's going to take time.
I mean, if you watch the first two games, I saw the highlights for the first two games. They're playing Caitlin Clark the same way they played Lonzo, right? All that hype, all that talk. First thing they did with Lonzo was got physical. They got real physical, which was very different in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this second game, watching those highlights, they got pretty physical with that. I was telling Joelle, she walked into a screen, and you almost thought like Doctor Strange took the astral soul out of her body. She hit the ground. So I'm like, they're gonna get physical with her. It's gonna have to be a learning curve for her to kind of see that that's what they're gonna try to do is get super physical with you. I think her game will start to slowly get better. But I mean, off the first two games, really, like people got to understand, like Candace Parker, LeBron James, they're anomalies. You know what I'm saying? They're anomalies. Not everyone can come right into the game and dominate immediately, even with hype. Hype actually makes it worse. It puts too much pressure on them. It puts a spotlight on them for the opposing players. They're like, all right, I'm gonna elbow her. You know what I'm saying?
That's the problem.
Welcome to the league. You know,
that's the problem. I think that folks that truly watch, I'm not berating anybody for not watching the women's game. Now you watch what you watch. I love the women's game, but I feel that the folks that actually watch women's basketball, especially the WNBA, understood off top that there was going to be a transition period. A lot of people are taking that as hate when 99% of the people are not hating on Caitlin Clark whatsoever. She is phenomenal, bro. She is phenomenal. But a lot of folks agreed with Diana Taurasi, and it was funny that Diana Taurasi made the comment she made about it's going to be a transition period because of the type of players you're going to be not playing against college players anymore, all smaller players, playing against more physical players. A lot of people, some people took it because they took it as she was hating on Caitlin Clark because they just love Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark can do nothing wrong in their eyes. But then some people took it that way because they just don't like Diana Taurasi. And a lot of people don't like Diana Taurasi because she always speaks her mind anyway. She's very mouthy. She's always complaining to the officials. Some of her plays could be deemed as dirty. She had one last night that, where she floored
female Draymond. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but she's also, if you look at her career, she's also somebody who could actually be in the GOAT conversation if you look at the early part of her career, but that's another story. But I think the only issue is the expectations from folks who do not, it only really became in love with the women's game or starting to watch the women's game within the past couple of years because of the great things that Caitlin Clark has done. They're expecting too much initially, and that's where the problem lies. And those same people, when you make a comment about Caitlin Clark, that think that you're hating on Caitlin Clark, and that's surely not the case for probably 98, 99% of the people.
I think Caitlin Clark will be good as long as she remembers this one thing. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? There's a lot of people that deem Steph Curry as a bust. Couldn't stay healthy, right? Didn't look all that great. And then I don't know if that man sold his soul or what happened. Them ankles got healthy, right? And the rest was history, right? So for me, Caitlin Clark, just keep your head down, keep going into work. Let them say what they're going to say. Only way you can kind of drown out the haters is with great play.
Got a comment. Caitlin Clark's game is predicated on shooting and movement without the ball, a lot like Steph. She shouldn't have the elite. She doesn't have the elite athleticism that other players have. It will take time to adjust. I totally agree. And that's a great comment because she played her third game yesterday. So let's run it down. We talked about the first game with the 20 points, not such a great shooting.
Who they play? Who she
and 10 turnovers. Yeah, the second game now, even worse. She scored I think 9 points, but she did have 6 assists and only turned the ball over 3 times. Right. Yesterday she had her best game ever, 22 points, Respectable shooting. She was right around about 50%, right in that area there. They should have turned the ball over 4 times. She had 8 assists. The one key thing in this is they have a player who was probably, arguably, their best player, even though they did have Rookie of the Year last year in Aaliyah Boston. But Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell has been nursing an injury. She would be really the primary ball handler for the Indiana Fever. And they brought her off the bench the first 2 games because she's been nursing an injury.
Gotcha.
Gets the start yesterday, has a pretty good game, scored like 17 points. And meaning that Caitlin Clark did not have to have the basketball in her hands.
I was going to ask that.
As much, and she was able to shakily get to her spot.
Is she normally a point guard or a shooting guard? Or it doesn't matter?
Well, she was a shooting guard, even when she was in college. She was a shooting guard that you would see bringing the basketball up the court a ton. They had other guards, Gabby Marshall and sometimes Kate Martin, who made the Vegas roster, would bring the ball up. But she was really a shooting guard, bringing the ball up the court. And we saw in the first 2 games, Joe. I've seen all 3 games. She was doing a lot of that the first 2 games. And immediately they would, she would come off of ball screens and they try to trap her. The pressure, the emphasis was on her definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Off top.
It didn't help that she had to play the Liberty twice.
Yeah.
And that's not in Indiana, literally they got the first pick because they weren't good. That's how that happened. So it's going to take a little bit for that team to get better. And as good as she probably is, and she showed it yesterday, it's going to take a while for her to adjust, right? It's just that's simple, Her team isn't the best, and she's just adjusting right now. And she had to play really good teams to start. Like I don't know who she played first game.
First game, they got stuck with what was New York first game, right? They played them twice already.
The last 2 games was New York.
Last 2 games, the first game was not Connecticut. Should I make me go back and look? Now watch the game. I'm going. It was it was Connecticut.
It was Connecticut. Okay.
Yeah, because she was playing against Carrington, Desiree Carrington, which everybody was talking about. They did a pretty good job.
Are they good? I don't remember. Are they a good team, Connecticut?
Oh, Connecticut was probably the third best team in the league last year.
I mean, she ran the gauntlet.
With a real shot of actually making it to the championship game.
There you go. So I think I remember. Did they played the Liberty last year in the conference finals?
Yep.
Okay, so I remember that. That's what I mean. Like, it's not like she went up against bad teams either. On top of the fact that she's just this is her first run, and she's going up against good teams, and she's adjusted to the physicalness and bigger, these are bigger players too. So it's just like, and like you said, they adjusted. They took the ball out of her hands a little bit more and let her play off ball a little better, and it worked out. So it's just going to take time. It's just going to adjust. And look, I think she's great for the women's game, just like a lot of the newer women are. Like this draft was incredible because I'm like, I've never paid attention to the women's draft ever.
Right.
This is the first time I ever paid attention, more so than I even care, more so than the men's draft. And I'm always more, involved, mainly because we're not in the draft like that. Seriously. So like the lottery's not doesn't mean as much this year to me, but this draft was telling that I knew at least 5 players. I've never known that many players coming into college, like coming into the WNBA, that I was excited for because there was so much hype in college for these women that it brought clout to the WNBA, which already is, to me, the last couple of years has been building, and now they're expanding. They're getting a new team soon. Getting Golden State. 2. Oh, they're getting 2. Who's the other one?
Getting 2 now. Yeah, remember the Bay was announced months ago. And then they've just awarded I think Canada. They're gonna get a team over there.
Oh, really?
There'll be 2 teams coming. Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I was showing my fiance the other day the Golden State the Valkyries. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and it looks really cool. So I like they're expanding. Some of the smaller teams are getting to play in the NBA arenas now instead because they're filling up seats. I mean, this is great for them. They're blossoming at a perfect point, and this new crop of women. Has helped because again there was more hype for the college for women's NCAA than there was for men's this year, and it's just crazy. It's crazy. Easy. I've never seen it in my life. This is crazy.
Yeah, I think, and you make a great point about the competition. So we talked about, of course, they played the Liberty, which is an absolute juggernaut. Runners up last year, and they're playing already an awesome start, looking way better than they did last year. Started with Connecticut. You had the runner-ups for MVP, Alyssa Thomas last year, and could have easily been in the finals last year. And it doesn't get any easier. They have to play Connecticut again in their next game tomorrow.
Jesus.
And then they'll play a Storm team, which has not quite found their footing yet, but has 3 of the top 10 probably players now in the WNBA.
Damn.
So they added a young lady, Nneka Ogwumike, who left the Sparks. Skylar Diggins Smith is there coming back. She didn't play last year because of her pregnancy. And then one of the absolute gunners in the league, one of my favorite players, Jewel Lloyd. They're about to run into a juggernaut. And then they'll get and then again, before they play the Aces a couple of games later, right in the middle there, they'll get a fun game for everyone to watch who's a fan of the game or a longtime fan or a new fan that just came on. You're going to recognize a lot of the players. You're talking about the draft, but they're going to play the LA Sparks, who are struggling as well. But you talk about the young lady from Stanford, Cameron Brink.
Yeah, she's
their first pick. And then one of my favorites, Rickea Jackson, who also went to the Sparks. That's going to be a fun game to watch because of the star power to have those two on that side. And, of course, Caitlin Clark.
Struggle together.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that game's going to go down. It's going to go down, looks like, I think it's next Friday. So, yeah, but I agree. The one thing I do want to say, though, as we're wrapping up Caitlin Clark, is I want people to understand one thing. I know I said it earlier. I need folks to stop thinking that every time somebody says something about Caitlin Clark that they're hating on her when they're speaking truth, right? About the adjustment period. Nobody wants to admit. Now, granted, she played a great game yesterday. We don't know. Maybe she drops 30 the next game. Maybe she doesn't. But there's truth to the adjustment period thing, right? And there are some people who realize that's an adjustment period, but are still saying that people are hating on her because they're just making comments based on the folks that kind of put her, that set her up, for this, what she definitely doesn't deserve. She's out there playing basketball. She's a great player. I truly believe that once she gets everything together, she's going to be a real problem for this league. And even if she doesn't, I still think she's going to be a good player. But understand this. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. If you love the women's game, you need this to work. Joel, you talked about the eyes it's brought on the game, the revenue it's bringing in. These people are having to move their games from their 4,000, 5,000 seat arenas to bigger arenas that can hold 12 to 17,000. The league needs this, and they need Caitlin Clark to be great.
Yep.
Because all I hear from a lot of us, and unfortunately it's a lot of men, but is how the NBA is putting the league and doing this and they're doing that, and they're going to be gone. Same people that are criticizing her. The league needs this to work. They need these young girls to come out with these Caitlin Clark shirts and these Caitlin Clark jerseys. They were playing in New York. I saw a ton of Caitlin Clark jerseys in the stands, T-shirts, 8 and 9-year-old girls. The league needs this to work to continue.
I'll say this.
The expansion.
I'll say this to your point. The league needs this to work. If the league was smart, what they would set up right now is for WNBA and NBA to, obviously to a degree, merge for All-Star Weekend next year. Have WNBA join the skills competition and have WNBA join the three-point competition.
Like they did in the past.
Because, right. And you know what I would do? What's the girl's, the lady's name that did it against Curry?
Sabrina.
Yeah, Sabrina.
Yeah, Sabrina. You know what I would do? Next year, I would do a special event. Clay and Steph versus Sabrina and Caitlin. Right? Do team 3-point contest, right? Yeah. And then for the skill challenge, I would do WNBA's best versus NBA's best. Just to where, because All-Star Weekend brings all kinds of eyes. Casual basketball fans, diehard basketball fans, people that only know players, people that love their own teams. So I'm like, why not incorporate the WNBA into that more? Right? Like, clearly they can't be part of the All-Star game or like slam dunk contest, but skills challenge and 3-point contest, make an event out of it. You know what I'm saying? Make a true event out of it. Really heighten these names, right? Especially, could you picture if Caitlin Clark and Sabrina beat Steph and Clay? Do you know how crazy that would be? You know what I'm saying? Steph started to sweat a little bit last year where he was like, all right, hold on now. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think it's great, like you said, for the league, what they're doing with Caitlin Clark, but you have to take advantage of this hype. And the best way to do that is incorporate it in aspects where the most eyes are. So it's like, get them part of a All-Star Weekend. That would be massive. Let alone if you can get Steph to come out to their All-Star Weekend. But yeah, definitely getting them part of the NBA's All-Star Weekend, I think, would be huge for the WNBA.
It would definitely be huge. I remember years ago, I spent my biggest gripe with the NBA All-Star Weekend, which is still Saturday in this house, is still a spectacle. I enjoy All-Star Saturday night.
I get it.
More than I do than the game. And it's not even a slam dunk contest. I love the 3-point competition, the skills and all that. I remember years ago, Source and I have talked about this several times, about when they would bring some of the WNBA players over. And a lot of times, of course, it was kind of specific to the like your states. I remember one year New York had, I think we had Landry Fields out there. Landry Fields was there, and was it
scraping at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, but still, they're on the skills competition with,
I remember those
from the New York Liberty. And I can remember a time years ago when Becky Hammond, the coach of the champion LA,
Liberty.
The Las Vegas Aces, was there in the skills competition. Back then.
Because they used to have the Shooting Stars, and they used to have They had a WNBA, and they had a current player.
Man, those things I do remember that. And that's a great thought, Juwan. We had talked about that as well. You have to have whatever the NBA does this year. Sabrina has to be back, and Caitlin Clark has to be in it. Let's go out there and shoot the lights out. Bring Steph back. You can go, like I said, you can go Steph and Clay. You can go Steph and whoever. You know what I'm saying? Another name. But get it out there. Hey, is that what an All-Star game is this year? Next year. Next year.
Last year was in Indiana.
Is it in Golden State?
I don't know where it's at.
I thought I saw that it may be in the Bay.
Because they always announce the shit, but they always announce the ones that are coming in the future. And like, I don't,
right. Yeah, they don't announce the very next one. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up.
I forget.
See if that's what the game is. I mean, Steph got to be in it regardless. But I was trying to think that I see that.
As long as he's walking, they'll probably be.
Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. But yeah, man, I just hope she hits, man. I just hope.
This is probably the most, at least in my opinion. Like, I'm a newbie. You can call me a newbie. I don't watch a lot of women's basketball.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is.
It's in Golden State.
San Fran.
Yeah.
All right, so look at that. So now he's got home court this time. So let's go. So this is probably the to me it's peaking right now. So you need to continue the rise and take advantage of the fact that you got this many eyes and this much attraction. Because like I said, this crop of women that got drafted grabbed eyes before they got to the WNBA. So you got to take advantage of that. Because at college, I've never heard of these girls, but I heard about them in college. And I heard about them and their battles in college going into the WNBA. I was like, oh, I wonder where they go. Now you know where they're at. Take it. Now they have to fully take advantage of this.
Indeed. And to continue to ride with it, like I said, Jawan, you looked it up. They're going to be in San Fran for the All-Star game. You know, not only have her there, but what great promotion that's going to be for that team that's going to Golden State.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That women's team that's going to be there. I mean, you talking about a chance to really win. This could be one hell of a ride over this next year if they just continue to do it right.
I'm excited for the WNBA. I've never said that.
It's okay to say it. And hey, New York is actually good.
But
Look,
that's why, because I'm just like Liberty. They've been fine in the last couple of years. They've piqued my interest, and I actually watched the finals last year. Sadly, New York lost, but they got there, and now they caught my attention. And then like after all this new crop got me involved. I'm like, I want to watch the Liberty this year. I'm gonna watch the Liberty, so I'm gonna watch some Liberty games this year. I am.
Yeah, it's good. Hey, and with the all eyes on Caitlin and the exposure the league's trying to get, man, they've got a crazy amount of games that are being made available on regular TV. You know what I'm saying? Regular TV or at least some streaming services, way up, maybe double the games from last year. And I'm already questioning. I get the WNBA pass. I mean, it's only like $35, right?
I imagine.
The amount of games I've seen already, I'm like, did I need to even spend the $35? Because you know what I'm saying, between
most of them,
ESPN, Ion, Ion, which we get, on the cable station here, you know what I'm saying? And then the games they've shown for free already on the WNBA app, I was like, man, did I even need to spend the $35 this year? Everything is on. You know what I'm saying? They had a great slate of games on yesterday. It was 4 WNBA games on yesterday. 2 of them were on ABC, and I think the other 2 were on NBA TV. You know what I'm saying? So
that's good.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, but so we'll keep eyes on Caitlin Clark to see how her if she'll continue to ascend. Like I say, she had a really good game yesterday. It was good to see. I'm sure there are going to still be some down games, but it looks like the coach Christy Sides and them are starting to figure out some things. I don't know if they're going to be able to figure out winning because they look like they're a mess. I don't remember if I seen them look this bad as a team last year, even when they were struggling early and they got hot late. So there's a lot to figure out. Last year's Rookie of the Year, Leah Boston, has not looked good. And I just think it's a transition period between all the new pieces and Caitlin. And that'll get fixed. But I'm thinking Christian Sides is thinking, well, even if we're going to lose, I got to at least find a way to get, Caitlin going. That might save my job. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get back in. So y'all sit back and enjoy the Caitlin ride, no matter what side of the fence you on. Don't hate and stop taking every comment, guys, out of context when somebody, is giving some real criticism or just say something that's you don't deem as positive, man. Not everybody hates Caitlin Clark. Most people do not dislike Caitlin Clark, no matter no matter what you think. All right, so, but I wanted to win. All right, so staying in basketball, guys. Let's go ahead and jump over to the NBA. I know you guys are chomping at the bit on that because we've got 2 Game 7s, man. 2 Game 7s going down today. And there was a Game 7 last night. Of course, we saw the Mavs. The Mavs get over the hump and make it to the conference finals in a great game against OKC last night, by the way. But you already messing with Kyrie is a problem. Was it like 14-0 and like close out games?
14-0.
Yeah. So.
You know what I didn't like about that, Prime? You know what I didn't like about that? I don't like that stat unless you want to put an asterisk in like abbreviations around it. Don't say 14-0 in closeout games and not mention half of them, if not most of them, were next to LeBron James. Like Kyrie didn't do this on his own. LeBron James is out there dying, trying to keep all these games alive, man. Be for real, okay? All right, put in quotes LeBron right next to it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be disrespectful.
Don't forget the team.
Make it seem like Kyrie was the difference maker. Like, bruh, what? LeBron's like right here.
Shout out to them though for making it, man. If you think about what we went through as Knicks fans, as piecing the team together, but you think about that team, they dish out all the money to those 2 guys, and then they have to kind of go out and figure it out to get and make some moves to get some key pieces in to have the success that they're having now. One of them being PJ Washington.
That was a really good
played a really good series. And it looks like everything just fell into place for those guys. And now they are on the way to their conference finals to wait to play the winner of the second game that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But let's get to our guys. Let's get to the Knicks. We are in a Game 7 today. For those of you who don't know, never seen this, around all all three of us on here are New York Knicks fans. All right, so
Yes.
if you came in early and heard me talking about my nerves were shot, that was the real reason.
Mhm.
But we're going to a crucial game 7 today. We're getting news as we're sitting there praying for OG and Josh Hart to be able to play today. And I think the feeling, I know my feeling at least is about this is I know that neither one of them probably should even be playing
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
We know if this was not a game 7, we probably wouldn't see either one of them.
Right.
Especially
We definitely know OG.
Especially OG.
Yeah,
Especially OG.
Yeah, he made that clear.
Especially
OG
OG.
make that clear, yo. OG's like, I ain't playing.
But it's gonna go home, man. You know, we about to be out here with Ben Stiller, Fat Joe in the garden out here, Tracy Morgan out here with the with his New York Knicks. What do you call his shoes, man, with the holes in them? I call them lazy
Crocs.
Crocs, yeah. Tracy
Yeah,
Morgan
there you
about to be in here with his New York Knicks Crocs on. Maybe even his New York Knicks pajama pants. I depend on how he's feeling.
Yeah.
This is
Early
a big game, man. All the Knicks alumni are going to be sitting there, which is great, by the way. I love seeing my man Melo out there,
awesome.
With the folks. I love seeing Marbury out there.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Steph been out there a lot lately. Starks has been killing.
But the
like
garden is about to be electric. One of you guys say something to make me feel better than I feel right now, because I'm kind of jacked up. You probably can't tell my
Only thing I can tell you, I was just talking to Joel about it yesterday, which is Dante DiVincenzo has been struggling, right? Your only hope is that he'll shoot his way out of these struggles, right? That's really the only thing you can hold on to, right? Because that's all they got. Because Brunson has shown that man can get 20 to 30 just blinking, right? So it's like he's not going to be the standard, because remember last year he dropped 45 in a game 6, like nobody else helped him, right? So it's like the issue is not Brunson. The issue is, I don't know if that game when OG and Anunoby went off for 20 is because Ice Spice was in attendance, but if OG can get 15 to 25 again, that'll be great. Dante can get us at least 15 to 20. That would be great. We know Deuce had a phenomenal game that got wasted on Friday night, right? So, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't know. I don't like this team. I find them to be really borderline dirty. They're going to go for Hart's. They're going to go for Hart's midsection a lot on those 50-50 rebounds. And that's what's going to hurt us the most. Josh Hart's biggest asset to us is his explosion for rebounds, right? You saw him Friday. Did that look like a man that can jump over a person's body to grab a rebound? Not at all. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. All we can say is this. This is our biggest advantage. That man on the far right that you have on our screen finds a way to disappear on the road when the lights are the brightest. It's the only hope we have. If that man chooses to disappear like Houdini, we're great. You know, we're really good, because we know if OG is at least 50%, he can take Siakam out of the game, right?
Oh, for sure.
Take Siakam out of the game. Isaiah Hartenstein and Precious just have to get better with Turner. I don't know why Isaiah and Precious struggle with the fact that Miles Turner can shoot. I can't tell you how many threes this man has gotten off with not handing.
Most
I don't know why.
Guys that could shoot.
No, but I'm saying it. I'm talking about just the idea of closing out. A lot of the times, Isaiah and Precious get stuck trying to defend the rim, and it's like, bruh, he's not looking to go to the rim ever.
They're not trying to defend him. If you're protecting the paint, you ain't protecting it from Miles Turner.
That's the thing, though. In protecting the paint, the one thing the Knicks do great is help defense. You got to trust that your guys are going to help you on those drives. Just stay on Turner, man. I shouldn't see games where this man is getting 15 to 20. Stop that, and we should be good, right? Like put clamps on that. But no, man, I don't know. And the crazy thing is that, and Bob Myers said this, and shout out to Bob Myers, man. He said if the Knicks lose Game 7, it won't be because the Pacers were the better team. It'll be because the Knicks had exhausted every possible avenue or player that they had.
Agreed.
But I mean, look, however these Knicks go out today, I'm proud, man. I'm proud to do what they did in the first series with no Randall, Mitchell Robinson out for most of those games, to beat Philly, right, in a series that looked like, oh, damn, could this go the stretch, right? And then to play as hard as they've played against the Pacers. This team has a phenomenal future. I believe we could be right back here next year if we remain healthy and stay with our guys. So my words of encouragement for you, Prime, will be no matter what happens tonight, this was a season we dreamed of, right?
Yeah.
We've dreamed of a season like this for so long. And this is our back-to-back seasons being in the second round. Let that not, go over some people's heads. So when you say words like fluke, Draymond, just remember we got here last year, So that's my words of encouragement for you, is that these guys are going to fight. These guys they're willing to die on that jersey. And they're going to give us one of the best games we've seen all year. That's what I believe.
What you got, Joel?
It's been a very stressful series, as I keep mentioning. Because I know it's not because we ain't good. It's just because we only have so much we can give at a time. And right now the home team keeps winning. We haven't lost. No home team has lost, right?
Right.
So that's the advantage we got. That's why we fought for the 2 seed, right? For that home court advantage. Unfortunately, Josh Hart got hurt. So that added another person to the list of already long list of injuries. And we're running out of bodies to throw at the Pacers, who have a long list of guys that can play, aside from one. And that's just more do the math. It's just they have more bodies. So at the end of the day, this team has shown that they will fight to the bitter end. And I appreciate Josh Hart and OG, if they both are cleared to play today, for giving it their all and knowing that this is do or die. I mean, you play tonight, you're probably going in 50% at best, and I'll take that. And I appreciate that they're at least going to go out on their sword. We're going to go out fighting.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's all this is it. This is elimination game. This is why we play, right? For this. So at the very least, let's get to the next round, and then we can worry about you guys resting and not resting. Fuck it. Then you have another several days to figure that out. But right now, let's just get past them. We've shown we can do it. It's just a matter of will we run out of fumes? But before we do, that's all I'm worried. I feel bad for them because I know it's I know at full strength we could probably take this team and probably would have.
It would have been over in 4.
It would have probably
there's no question. This series would have been over at full strength. I'm trying to tell you.
100%. Can we be honest? I don't think the Sixers series would have gone long. I think that would have been
I 100% agree.
Yeah, we probably could have gone. I 100% believe we could have gone to the finals this year if we were full strength, but we'll never know.
And I will say, Joel, really quickly, I will say this. Let's keep this in mind too, right? Not looking too far ahead. Just want to put this out there. If we win today and get to Boston Celtics, right? Everyone and their mother will have us written off. They're hurt. They're at 13%. I want to remind people of this. KP will miss the first 2 games, probably longer. Let's not forget Giannis could not play even 1 game, let alone practice, and they have the same injury. Let's remember that. That's 1. 2, Jason Tatum, statistically, I believe, I could be slightly wrong, but I believe statistically, he is having one of his worst playoff years. His numbers are down in every statistical category. The wins that they've gotten have been team wins. It's not been like Jason Tatum's gone out there and averaged 35, 40. You know what I'm saying? It's been because the team is just overwhelmingly better. They were better than the Cavs. You know what I'm saying? They just been better. So for me, I look at it like if you can survive and get through this game, if you're the Knicks, I'm not going to be stupid. The Celtics are just healthier. There's no one that can stop Jalen Brunson over there, bro. It just isn't. As long as I got number 11, I'm starting to feel the way about Brunson that I used to feel about Brady. As long as I got 11 out there, I feel like we got the best chance in the world, right? You got to beat me to prove that you're the better team, you know? So for me, I just look at it like Knicks, get the job done tonight. And I promise you, man, it's not going to be as scary against those Boston Celtics going forward, bro. It just isn't.
My only worry is, like, let's say they do win, and it takes everything that Josh and OG have to do it. Like, now we're stuck at, like, super underhanded against
Boston. Because it's a quick turnaround. I do believe, I think the Eastern Conference Finals, I believe it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think it's Tuesday. So you talking about a quick turnaround, whoever does win this game.
That's why it was important to close out Friday. It was so important, but that did not work out.
Yeah, the shots got to fall. I mean, the shots definitely have to fall today. I mean, we know that, especially at home, that, you know, we can take a punch at home as good as anybody.
Right.
And come back, you know, especially when we're somewhat healthy, you know.
Got a board, bro. Got to get them rebounds. It's so important. Like, Hartenstein had a rebounding game of his life when we won that game, right? He can't get outboarded again. Like, him and now Hart's hurt. He's going to need help. You got to get on. If you want to win this game, you're going to have to do it with physicalness, and they got to get them. If they don't get the boards, you're going to lose. Because why? Indiana's going to end up out shooting them. That's what's going to happen.
That's what's going
to happen. They need to get as many possessions as they can. They have to double it if they can.
You gotta feel for Tibbs though, because you think about it, all the criticism he's taken since he's been in New York. There was people that wanted him fired, you know, before last season, and after the season last year, he should have done this. You got to take your hat off to Tibbs, man. I don't care how you feel about him. You tell me another team that could have gotten even to this position after going through what the Knicks have gone through. Mm-hmm. You know, you're talking about real gut punches. Like, you look at the injured unit. Like, you know, so we're hoping right now for something from OG today. We'll find out in the shoot around. And we knew for the longest time, I always felt that Julius wasn't coming back. We know, of course, that Mitch is injury prone, but Mitch gave us a lot in that last series, you know, against you know, Philly.
Yep.
So where at least you had really two real centers that you could play at that position. Before Hartenstein's out there now, he gets in foul trouble, and we're going smaller.
Yeah.
You know, once he's out of there, and then nobody's talking about Bogdanovich though. But man, I would give anything to have him right now. You know, he ain't got to give me 25. Give me the 16 to 18 to 20. I know I'm good. That extra shooting would be so key. You know,
he's a threat. You have to guard him. You know?
Yeah,
right. Sad part about Randall is a lot of people in the know were saying that the worst thing the Knicks did was wait, because a lot of people felt like if you had gotten the surgery right then and there, you could have rehabbed to be back around now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people felt that. Remember, he got injured in January.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We wouldn't even need him to be 100%. We would need him to be exactly what OG's going to be today. And that is a smokescreen, right? Because when you look at Julius, you do say to yourself, we can't risk the idea he might be healthy enough to average 30 in these playoffs, right? Which he would. I mean, what are we talking? Obi Toppin that would be on Julius Randle? Pascal Siakam that would be on Julius Randle? Yeah. That's come on, that's barbecue chicken, as Shaq would say, right? So for me, it's the idea that at least they would have to think twice, and that slight thinking twice could give Brunson an average of 60 a game.
That's 10 rebounds right there. It's 20 rebounds.
That's 25, 10, and 6 sitting right at the bottom right of that. 25, 10, and 6.
That's a lot.
It is. It really is. So for me, it's like, look, we've been playing with house money, but one thing I've always loved about this Knicks team is that when Randall went down, no excuses were made, right? When OG went down, no excuses were made. Bojan went down, no excuses were made. Mitch went back down again, no excuses were made. I just love this team, man. I really do. I really, truly do. Man. And it's like I said, however it goes today, I'm proud of them. I'll be upset if it doesn't go the way we want it to.
I'm not gonna be happy.
Pride will be the one thing I can hold my hat on, right? Is pride, knowing that they were willing to die.
We're all fighting
to get us to the conference final.
Hey guys, you know what's crazy? You know, me being down here in VA is I can't tell you. I'm with you 100% on the pride. You know, the pride thing, because I can't. I'm so used to walking around over the years and getting negative comments and see my Knicks hat, my Knicks lanyard, or whatever. Oh, you like the Knicks? Oh, come on, bro. You know, and these are like Laker fans and all these people.
Of course.
But I can honestly say this year, man, I've gone to Wawa to get coffee, minding my own business. Oh, them Knicks balling, man. Those Knicks balling. Yes, man, those Knicks doing this. Man, y'all got something to say. I'm like, wow. You know, I'm minding my business and they just see the gear. I've heard that so much. So that's why I'm with you. No matter what happens today, I'm proud. Like, I'm beyond proud.
I've been proud.
This team. You know, you can't, you know, we didn't make it to the playoffs the last couple of years, and we've definitely exceeded expectations this year. You know, you can't use that. Well, if Giannis wouldn't have got hurt and Embiid, y'all wouldn't have been the 2 seed. Well, we've been more hurt than anybody.
Hold on. No. Let's take that down right now.
Right.
The Bucks, the Cavs did not want the 2 seed. They hid from it. They ran away from it because they did not want to have to work. Right. They did not want to have to work hard to get to where they needed to be. So to me, I do not have any respect for any of those 2 teams, and there is a reason why they went home. They ran from the smoke. We embraced it. We went into Philly, which everyone and their mother said, oh, Joel Embiid, he's easily going to average like 90 a game, and they're going to beat the Knicks. What happened?
He sure did. That didn't stop us.
It didn't stop us. Not one bit. So for me, it's just the idea of
they're playing.
They're playing?
Yes.
They're both on course.
Oh, shout out to Greg.
He winning. I appreciate you, big dog.
More than
Spike. You deserve this more than Spike. Stop being a hater, Greg.
How did we not mention Spike earlier? We were naming all these all the guys that are gonna be out there going crazy.
Because the reason we didn't mention Spike is because he won't be on Celebrity Row. That motherfucker will try to suit up tonight.
You'll be there at the logo.
Oh man.
But no. Like I said, man. Like I said, no excuses are coming out of my mouth at all. This team is gonna fight. And now Joel said that those 2 guys are playing. For me, what I would do if I was Tibbs, this is gonna sound crazy. I would start Alec Burks at the 3 and put OG at the 4. Let Josh Hart come off the bench. Just the more time he can maybe just gain a lot of wind and not exert as much.
I mean, this man plays 48 minutes a night. That's not gonna win.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
He's gonna have to be wearing what Melo used to wear, that vest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying because of that injury, I think you get winded a lot quicker. That's what I mean. So, like, you know,
well, he probably can't breathe. So I agree. he's probably struggling to breathe right now.
Right.
Yeah, they said it doesn't affect you.
Did they ever say specifically what it is? We know it's an abdominal strain.
An abdominal strain. So it's probably I don't know. I have to imagine it's like a strain. You ever tore anything in your stomach before?
No.
I've had like a rib injury once, and like it was a bitch. Yeah, exactly. It takes a while. Like I had a bruised rib once. That was hard to breathe. So I can't imagine my abdomen. So I can't imagine. Like it's hard to like move. Just move. It's just hard. It's painful. So yeah, I can't imagine it feels good. He's probably on some type of painkiller, and he's gonna feel like shit the next after. But you know what? If he can play through it, God, I commend him.
This does scare me, man, because our 2 best defensive guys in Hart and OG, those are very much injuries. Excuse me, that kind of take away from any athleticism. in any explosion.
The hammy
right?
too.
I mean, think about
flare up
it.
again.
OG got hurt on an explosive play. Right? He just dunked it. Right?
No, he went for a layup. Because he couldn't dunk
I thought
it.
he dunked it. I thought he dunked it.
He couldn't get up.
Yeah,
so he was gonna dunk it. I think he was trying to dunk it, but he couldn't, so he just threw it up.
Damn, the curse.
All right, give it to me straight, guys. Give it to me straight. We winning today? What's up?
Are we?
You know what? This is New York. All right. You know what? Get all that. All right. Where did Tracy say? This is where King Kong died. So you know what? I'm going Knicks by 10.
Knicks by
10. I can't give you the score, but if it comes down to the wire, I would not be shocked if it's under 5 with like 1 minute left. I could see that one of those games. And if it comes down to that, I think the Knicks pull it out. If it's longer than that, then maybe not. But if it's a close game, I do think if it's a close game, the
anyway, we need the league to make these 5-minute quarters. So
Can we cut these shorter? We have a good. I mean, if it comes down to that, I think we can figure it out from there. I need Hartenstein to have a 20 rebound game again.
We can get the ghost of.
I also need Hartenstein to just really defend well. I need him to defend well. I need Deuce to have one of those explosive nights. But the biggest thing,
shot. I need Alec Burks to
biggest thing I gotta ask of Deuce tonight. Biggest thing I gotta ask of Deuce tonight. You know what I would if I was Tibbs? Would I be playing the Deuce from Friday up until game time? That video of when Haliburton did the step back 3 and then told him he's too small. I would play that over and over and over. And tell him, don't you want to see that man cry like we made Joel Embiid cry? Don't you want that? That's what we're here to do tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here to do. That's all I'm saying.
No doubt. No doubt. Hey, and real quick, so what do you think about the game 7 with the Nuggets and the Wolves this evening? Wolves blew a 2-0 lead, kind of like we did. And then the Nuggets have making it a series. And a lot of people really feel like Jokic just didn't have enough. He just didn't have enough. And this will be his day. What do you guys think is going to be the outcome of our game 7?
I'm praying Anthony Edwards gets the job done, mainly because I'm sorry. This is America, man. We can't have no Luka Doncic versus Jokic in the Western Conference Finals. It's a very strong possibility. Whoever wins that wins a championship. We got to do better, America. Okay, so we need Anthony Edwards to do this for America. Okay, do it for America. Stop these Nuggets. Okay, stop these fraudulent Nuggets. I don't know what you're going to do about Rudy Gobert. I don't know. Rudy might have to start playing dirty. You might have to start, like, when Jokic, like, jumps to shoot. He barely jumps in the air. You might have to Draymond kick him. You know what I'm saying? You may have to Roman Reigns, Superman punch him. Whatever you got to do, Rudy Gobert, because that man right now, he's shaming you, bro. I don't know how else to really describe that. And the answer is not cat. You don't ask to get worse on defense. So I don't really know who you go to. But I will say this, that I think is the Timberwolves' best, is their biggest advantage, is that apparently Jamal Murray's superpowers only works against the Lakers. So I think as long as the Timberwolves remember they're not the Lakers,
I was gonna say,
they should be
Jamal Murray has to come and actually play basketball.
He doesn't know how when it's not sending LeBron home.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
That man knows how to send LeBron home. That's it.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Wolves, man. I'm rooting for the Wolves. Anthony Edwards can go out and make this happen. He's just gonna have to be on point. We saw him put up over 44 in a loss. But if you think about it, the other 2 games that they lost, he scored less than 20 points. So they're going to have to find a way to keep him, whatever they did in those 2 games. One game was at 19 and one game it was 18. Because I remember there was the one game, of course, that Cat was the leading scorer with 23, right? So you're going to have to keep him fresh. But, yeah, whatever they did to neutralize Anthony Edwards, they need to keep him out of those, they keep him out of the 20s or at least in the low 20s. And I think that they're going to have a shot to the Nuggets will have a shot to win it. But I don't know. I'm gonna take the Wolves though, and I'm hoping they go ahead and pull this thing out.
We need them to.
I don't know. I thought I knew every 2 games. I thought I knew something, and then it just seems like it keeps going back and forth. It's almost like this Nick Pacers series, except with less injuries. So it's like trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I can't see. No one seems to be able to take advantage of the other one. Minnesota's defense is real.
Yeah.
Somehow the Nuggets figure it out, but then there are times they just can't.
Yeah.
And like when Minnesota's hot, they're good. And like don't get me wrong, Minnesota was weirdly hot that last game. They were just throwing shit up and it was going in.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, they were already up 20 at that point, but still, it was like it's one of those games where like no one's you're not missing. And they really just caught fire. So it's gonna be it's in Denver, right? So, man, I don't know. I don't really care. Like whoever wins, but because it's been so long for Minnesota, I kind of feel bad for them, and I'm done with Denver.
Need a big Nas Reed.
I like Nas Reed. A big fan of Nas Reed. Big fan. I'm a big fan of a lot of those guys, honestly. But I'll lean Minnesota. I think Minnesota can pull it out. I think it'll be a tough one, but I'll lean Minnesota.
I'll say this: with all those comparisons they keep making with Anthony Edwards and Michael Jordan, this is where you prove it. This is where you prove it.
Will we have a Jordan moment today?
For his sake, I hope so.
Stay tuned.
For Minnesota's sake.
Hey, real quick, guys, before we get out of here, a couple things came out in the NFL, man. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you about them. And then I'm going to give each of you a chance to tell me what your record is going to be for your prospective teams, and we're going to get out of here. But one thing, the first thing I wanted to bring up, did you guys, I don't know how much you paid attention to the NFL schedule when it dropped? Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of talk right now about, streaming and things. Netflix has gotten into the game now, and
Christmas,
the Christmas games and things of that nature. How do you guys feel about, the streaming services starting to get these games?
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh, I love it so much. It's the future. It's the future. The closer you get cable not existing, I'm always for it. It shouldn't exist, especially when most of these channels are part of conglomerates that have streaming. Just stream everything. You know what I'm saying? Just stream everything. So for me, I think it's great. I enjoy it. I still don't like football Christmas games. I think it's a sin. I think it should stop. Stop making me choose between watching the Knicks at 12 or my Patriots at 1 o'clock. It's hell. It's pure hell. I don't like it. But I do enjoy it. Man. I don't like having to do that. I like to focus on one game at a time. You know what I'm saying? We know the Knicks are going to be a perennial Christmas team, right? And last year, the Patriots played also. And I'm like, at least New England was horrible. So I could just block that out and just watch the Knicks, right? But, if they start to get better, don't make me choose. Just stop doing football on Christmas, okay? We won't do basketball on Thanksgiving. It's just how it's always been. But, no, I enjoy streaming services getting these sports. I think it's been going well. I enjoy watching, when basketball's on TNT. I don't watch it on TNT. I watch it on Max. I enjoy doing it that way. So for me, keep it going.
I don't have cable, so it works for me. I mean, so yeah. I mean, I don't care either way. I have the apps that they're usually on anyway. So I'm indifferent. For me, it's not a big deal. I can watch it on cable because I have something for that, or I can watch on apps. You're gonna try to throw me a curveball? I'll hit them too. Okay, I got this.
Hey, I think the NFL did a great job though as far as these matchups here for Thanksgiving and Christmas though. I think they did a really good job. Especially we look at Thanksgiving, man, you get the Bears and the Lions, and a lot of intrigue there, of course, because we know the Lions, are expected to be really good again.
Yep.
And it's good to have back-to-back years now where the Lions. We don't have to look at the Lions game matchup on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Good grief,
Yeah.
come back, man. They're actually good. And of course,
Yeah.
you're playing a division rival in Chicago Bears, and all the hype is going to be there, not only because of Caleb Williams, but the pieces they have too.
They brought with them.
Your guy, DJ Moore,
Keenan Allen. We got some
Keenan Allen. That's what we got. Yeah. So I think I love this game in that first matchup there. I think that's going to be great. Of course, you get division game, Dallas and the Giants. No matter what you think about either team, it's a division game. So
always gonna play it tough.
Yeah. So one of the first times, how many times does Dallas and the Giants play like the opening week? It's usually like maybe
a lot.
Out of the last 7 or 8 years or something.
Yeah, that's been one of the longest streaks going, right?
Oh no, it's been a while since I've won in week 1, so I can't tell you. Because that's not true. We beat Tennessee, I think, the year before, and that was a good year.
And that's not happening. Cowboys and Giants not happening this year. Matter of fact, Cowboys not even playing a division; they're playing a Cleveland week 1, which is odd, but it's a game. And then that evening matchup, man, the night matchup with the Dolphins and the Packers, man. So much hope for the Packers, especially the way that they finished the season last year.
Yep.
Jordan Love coming into his own. But then you got the Miami Dolphins. I mean, you already have all the fireworks there with Tyreek Hill and, and Waddle. And they got OBJ coming there as a number 3. Right. I really like this Thanksgiving schedule. I really do.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Hopefully it ends well.
Yeah. And then we talked about the streaming guys, the Christmas thing. And of course, you have the Chiefs and the Steelers playing. But of course, a lot of intrigue going to be there because I guess will Russ still be the quarterback by Christmas? I mean, we got a lot of intrigue there. But they're playing the Chiefs, and of course that Ravens Texans matchup. This speaks for itself.
I mean, I would like the over/under on whoever the third string quarterback is for the Steelers. It's a very good chance he won't be Russ or Justin Fields playing.
Yeah, third string.
Whoever's the third string, warm that arm up, brother. You'll be playing by December 25th.
It's a tough schedule. Steelers got a tough schedule.
Yes, they do.
I'll make this super quick. One thing that will work for the Steelers is how elite that defense is. So if Russ is the day 1 starter. So if Russ can just keep the game manageable as far as no turnovers, no giving the other team short field, that defense can keep those games extremely winnable for Russell Wilson, way more than the Broncos did. So I think this might be a little easier for him. I just don't trust that noodle of an arm anymore. I just don't. I don't.
No doubt. Good thoughts. On this next one, I want to spend to my guy, Joel. And I hate to do this to you because you're my guy, but I got to ask you. You're the guy I got to ask about this, man.
Okay.
What in the grandma's quilt is this? Well, what did the New York Giants do?
I don't understand how many times I explain this. This is a throwback to one of the original jerseys that they wore back in the day. Now, I think for the first 30 years, they actually wore red. So, this is a throwback to that. They're like 3 different generations in there between the jersey, the helmet, and the socks.
Gotcha.
So they pulled from like 3 different things, put it all together, and this is what it looked like. This is one of the original designs. Again, we're talking about 30s. So that's what it looked like back then. Nobody looked pretty back then. Let me just tell you. So this is 100 years, I think it is now. So that's what it looked like back then. That's just stop fucking with me. That's
what I was wondering though was, and don't get me wrong, I'm all about the throwback and the commemorative stuff. It did catch me off guard when they saying they're going to wear it up to 2 times this season.
Up to 2 times, yeah.
Yeah, so you a lot of times we see these people, you see these teams, they wear that uniform 1 time during the year, and you know what week it's going to be, and whether it's the commemorative or color rush, whatever. But they're saying up to 2 times. So you're telling me there's a chance we might see this 3 times.
I guess we'll see how well it looks on the field.
you already know how the Cowboys are going to dress on Thanksgiving. You know, we got to go with the white,
True.
And all that stuff. It's going to be interesting to see
who come out with the Reds.
if they'll come out with those on.
It's called the Century Red uniform. That's what it's called, Century Red uniforms. So I wouldn't be surprised, that Thanksgiving game, if it's fitting, as an old rivalry. Now, this jersey goes way before they were rivals, but still, it's I could see it. That's not a bad idea.
Same division.
Yeah. It's a long time ago.
Yeah. What do you predict your record is this for your Giants after the schedule?
Oh my! Again, this is not an easy schedule, especially how last year. Look, I really need to see how they come out. Look, it really was predicated on how they come out the first couple of weeks. How can they go? Like Minnesota, Washington should be games that we should be at least beatable games for us. Whether and if we can pull those 2 wins out, then it really is a matter of like, can we pull one out in Cleveland, Dallas, Seattle? It's just, It's not easy because obviously Cleveland looked pretty good last year. I haven't beat Dallas in years. I don't know. Seattle, they're tough. Cincinnati, as long as they're healthy. By this point, it's usually time when Burrow realizes he's a good football player again. Then you have the Eagles. They're a pain in the ass. At least for us, they are. Pittsburgh, that's winnable, hopefully. But they see how, that's why the first 2 games are really – my season really depends on those first 2 games. And I can't tell you – I really would like to win at least the first 2 weeks. So, and then I can figure out the rest. It's probably not going to be pretty. Hopefully 7 games. we're good. But that's probably what I'm looking at.
No doubt. Yeah, I had you guys right around about 7-8 games. So that's fair.
It's tough schedule.
I think Neighbors is going to hit though. I do.
I
think Neighbors is going to hit. I really do.
I think we're underestimating that Giants defense. It got better.
I don't disagree.
Better.
The secondary is questionable. That's why can they pull it out?
Well,
I'll say this.
Jones play though? How does Daniel Jones play knowing that they were entertaining getting a quarterback?
Let me tell you this. If the O-line looks good, we'll be good this year. If it's not, we probably won't be good.
Also, Prime, looking at the first 5 games, right? The first 5 games. Do you trust that new quarterback in Minnesota? I don't know how Jaden Daniels will translate. I know Deshaun Watson I saw last year isn't the Deshaun Watson I saw in Houston. Obviously Dallas, those are coin flip games. Usually goes Dallas's way, but whatever. Seattle, that's a winnable game. New coach, new system and everything. Who knows how that team looks? So within those first 5 games, I'm like, Giants couldn't win 3 out of the 5. Right. I can see that.
Maybe. That's what I'm saying. That's why, to me, those first 2 games are so important because it's one of those things where it's like they have to come out strong for their own psyche.
I will say though, if you can't win week 1,
that's what I'm saying. If you can't get week 1, it's gonna. This is gonna be a long season.
You might have to throw in the towel by like 10-20.
Because what happens with a game like that, week 1 loss is gonna come down to like we got to steal a game, and like hopefully it's against Dallas or hopefully it's against Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Because make up for that loss.
It might happen.
You never know.
Jawar,
it's a lot of scary games, man.
What's the record for your Patriots this year, bro?
Drake May plays, I say 10-7, maybe. I don't know.
You like 10 wins for the Mayo squad?
For the Pats.
A lot of this is speaking with my heart. I don't know. That's not a great way to start the season off against the Bengals. We gotta play the 49ers. I didn't even see the schedule. Oh my god. Why is there so many Why is there so many good teams on here? What the hell?
Why?
Come on, man. We couldn't get Washington twice.
You get Washington twice, man.
Just give me Washington twice. No, all jokes aside, I could see 10 wins because that defense is elite and it got better. I see those. My problem is offensively, it's a lot of babies, right? Like your vets are still kind of babies. Like you haven't really seen the true evolution of Kendrick Bourne. right? We don't know, is he a fluke? Is he really good? It's really hard to gauge. He was injured last year. And then the year before that, for some reason, Bill had him in the doghouse. Remember, he didn't get that many reps.
Yeah.
He didn't get any targets. It was just weird, and he had a phenomenal season the year before. So I don't know, man. I just know every time I see Drake May in a New England Patriots uniform, I get like this PTSD over how excited I got over Mac Jones. And it's like, why'd you have to wear number 10? Why'd you step in his shoes? Why would you do that? I don't know. I'm going to say 10 wins. I like Gerard Mayo, defensive guy. I think if he can get this defense looking the way Bill did, and the offense can just not be what they were last year, I think we can make steady improvements. And for this team, my eyes are set on a midseason trade with Cincinnati for what's his name? Obviously not Jamar Chase.
Fat.
T. Higgins.
Yeah.
T. Higgins. So I think either T. Higgins will become available, or shout out Prime, be on the lookout for this. I think your boy Justin Jefferson will be on the move this season.
You think so?
I do not see Justin Jefferson staying with this rookie quarterback. 100%.
He asking for that money, man. He asking for that money.
And I can guarantee you, how many teams is in the NFL?
32.
32? Guarantee you 32 teams will be signing up to pay that man whatever they need to pay.
As they should.
And I can tell you right now, our 3 teams would be in running for Justin Jefferson, right?
We would be in the running. The problem is my squad ain't going to have the money because we got people.
My squad has the money. We've only paid our players. We refuse to go sign anyone else. We just paid our players. So I'm like, I guess we got money somewhere.
Yes, because look at the Cowboys. You're talking about the Dallas Cowboys and my team. So the thing is, we don't have the money to get JJ because Steven comes out the other day and everybody was asking, why did you not go after Derrick Henry? And he was like, we didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying? Because they know they still got to pay CD and they got to pay Michael Parsons. You know what I'm saying? And the Dak thing is still not figured out yet. So I wish they would find a way to at least pay CD before JJ gets paid. Because if JJ signs his contract before CD, that's going to be even more of a problem. Because he's going to look at that contract now. He got that? Yeah, player. You know what you got to do for me. You feel me? So, but I look at the Dallas Cowboys schedule and I see them, as a lot of people, taking a step back. You lost a couple of pieces defensively, which might not have been a bad thing if we're talking about adding some size there, because you definitely needed some size. But that offensive line is the real question because you had to replace so many pieces on that offensive line. You're going to be relying on a couple of rookies, the starters. So, I can see the Cowboys falling back to maybe even 10 wins this year. And I know a lot of people may think I'm crazy, but you're talking about them surprisingly winning the NFC East last year. Well, when the last time was it 19 years? How many years has it been since somebody repeated in the NFC East?
It's been a minute. Because you would assume it would have been the Eagles. You would assume it would have been Dallas sometimes. It was weird. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
It's always a new crown at the top. So
I don't know. However long it's been too daggone long. So it doesn't look good. So very, very, very challenging schedule out of the gate. Just definitely, especially the 2 out of the first 3. Cleveland playoff team. You're talking about who's going to be available. Myles Garrett scares me, and can potentially can do some things to your quarterback early that might that might hurt you later on. Then of course there's the Saints. Then
if you don't have a quarterback, you can't hurt him.
You're forgetting something, Prime. As much as Myles Garrett is an irritant, you got a dog on the other side too.
Yeah, but I ain't worried about him hitting my quarterback.
That's true. But look, hey, then you got to even things out. Take that quarterback out. Tell Michael Parsons go eat.
Yeah, the Ravens thing in a couple, week 3. The one thing that's intriguing to me is, of course, is our annual every 4 years or so we play the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I've said like forever that I would never that I am. Nah, I'm not going to that game. It was a time period that I went to that game almost every time it happened. Right. The last time I went to the game when it was in Pittsburgh, of course, that game was like in December, like the biggest mistake ever.
Whoa.
You know, snow, it was cold. I said, never again, and then, they play in Dallas is a different thing, but that is a ticket. I know a lot of today's generation will understand, but if you talk about teams with like rivals, especially through the 70s and 80s, on up, that's one of the biggest rivalries out there. So when you go to a game, it's basically Steelers travel as well as anybody else. Period. I'm telling you. It doesn't matter if the game is on the East Coast, West Coast. Like people, my people always talk about when they go to the Raiders games and they can't believe the amount of Dallas Cowboy fans that are over in California and how they just take over the stadium.
They travel too. Oh, fuckers.
The Steelers, it don't matter if the game is in Pittsburgh, they're going to show out. If the game is in Dallas, you would not believe the amount of black and yellow.
Really?
That is surrounding that stadium in Jerry World. So, and of course, there's the Niners and all that. But I see the Cowboys probably taking a step back this year, maybe 10 wins. And they try to figure out everything from the quarterback situation afterwards to I am going to predict that Zeke has, even though I'm worried about that offensive line, I'm predicting that Zeke has a better year than people think.
I mean, he had a pretty good season last year, and our offensive line was putrid. So
he won't satisfy everybody. Yeah, he's still white. He probably okay. Maybe he is washed, but I predict that once they get the offensive line gelling, he's still got one side he can run to that's just pretty darn good. I think he has a better season than people think. But yeah, I got the Cowboys. Maybe going back to about 10 wins.
Okay.
All right, and that's all I got, fellas. You guys got anything that you want to mention before we get out of here?
Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. As always, I appreciate my guys, Juwan and Joel, for coming through. We will see you guys again soon, man. Definitely. Anything you want to shout out, put out there, promote before we get out?
Go ahead, Juwan, do it.
Yes. Make sure you guys follow Unhealthy Unstable. We're on Twitch, YouTube, and X, even though I still call it Twitter. We have a podcast every Wednesday night at 8, and we stream Fortnite every Thursday at 8. But we do other games besides Fortnite.
Eventually. As of right now, it's been Fortnite.
Not now, but
and shout out the name of it one more time for them.
Unhealthy and Unstable.
No doubt. And those of you, I see we've got a lot of folks on here today. A lot of you may not be part of the Facebook group. The SBP stands for Sports Bar Podcast. Come on through. We do most of our recording and podcasts on Sunday mornings like we're doing now, usually around 11 o'clock. But sports talk is our thing, but hip-hop, television, and movies are always on the table. So I encourage anybody that's watching on any of the other platforms to come through and join the group. We are on YouTube as well, like the YouTube page. The SBP, of course, like I say, is it's a Facebook page. But we also, within the group, we have segments where we have a show. It's called Know the Ledge. We talk mostly music and hip hop there. So if anybody wants to come through and join us at any time, let us know. We are always looking for guests to come on and talk about everything from a classic Nas Illmatic album to who's beefing now. I'm lost count who's beefing now in the world. So we would talk about all of that. And then we haven't done any movies yet. I think we're going to go back and redo the classic Ice Cube Friday. We're just trying to figure out if we're just going to do it movie by movie or if we're just going to string them all three together. We're working on that right now, but that falls up under our Run It Back segment. So look for those. But the SBP is where everything is housed under SBP TV. So appreciate y'all checking us out. Y'all enjoy the basketball games today. And hey, until next time, we out.
Peace.